Hello everyone, my name is Gregory Simmons. I'm the Executive Director, Compliance and Engagement at ATMC, the Australian Technical Management College. I'm going to say a few words to you today around the critical requirement for any student who aspires to study in Australia and obtain an Australian International Student Visa, namely the GTE, GS or Genuine Temporary Entrance requirement for students. So the Australian Government, before they award a visa and allow a student to come to Australia for the purpose of study, need to be assured that the student is genuine in their intent to come into the country for the purposes of education. Namely, not using the student visa as an avenue for other means, whether that's migration purposes or work purposes. The student should be coming into Australia primarily for the purpose of their education. And at ATMC, we certainly look to recruit only students who come to study at our wonderful college in either Melbourne, Sydney or Geelong. If you're coming to study a Federation University degree or a Charles Darwin University degree at ATMC, you should be able to show and demonstrate that you understand ATMC develop and deliver these degrees on behalf of those institutions. So studying at ATMC for a Federation University degree is at ATMC. It's not a Federation University campus, it's at our campuses in Melbourne and Sydney. And the reasons why people like to come to ATMC typically have to do with our big city locations. We offer regional university education in the big cities in Melbourne and Sydney, where jobs are plentiful, accommodation is easy to find. But also our college is a specialised international college, which is, creates an environment with small class sizes and takes care of you and is there to specialise in international education. So if you come to ATMC, you don't get thrown into big lecture theatres in a regional city. You come to study at our college, smaller class sizes and specialised support for people just like you. You should also be expected to demonstrate why you've chosen Australia over other options. So for example, why come to study at ATMC in Australia and not pick another provider in another country such as Canada, England, the US, or for that matter, why not another provider here in India? So in your own words, you should be expected to say why Australia is an attractive destination to you and why ATMC is the right fit for you as a person. And that you can only do that if you've spent some time thinking about the other options, the pros and cons of those, and you've made an informed choice. So there are particular things that you need to think about before you apply to study at an Australian educational institution and before you're ready to lodge your student visa. Namely, you need to have done your research, show people that you're making an informed choice. It's a big decision coming to study in Australia. It's an expensive decision. It's something that will impact on your life in many ways. And it's important that you've done your research. So if you're coming to ATMC, we expect that you've spent some time exploring the type of college that we are. You do some investigation, some research on the web, check out our website, look at the information there, talk to your agent or your representative, work through our brochures, know the content of the course that you're applying for. You should be expected to answer some questions about the course that you're applying for, such as, for a Bachelor of Information Technology student, what makes up the degree program? What are the subjects that are in there? What is the emphasis of the program? What are the outcomes of the program? These are simple things that you need to be able to answer in your own terms, and you need to have done some thinking about this before you actually apply to come and study with us. In addition to doing research and understanding the contents of your program, you should demonstrate that the program fits your career profile, your aspirations. It's consistent with what you've done in the past and consistent with what you want to do in the future. It will provide you a return on investment. You can demonstrate that coming and studying the particular program that you've chosen will benefit your life in many ways, and you've thought about how the program will benefit your life. So you should link it to a career plan, to how it's going to open up different options to you. And that very much needs to be in your own words, and you need to be able to talk in a way which shows that you've thought about it yourself, not someone else has told you how the program will change your life, but how you think the program will change your life. And you can answer that question. In addition to understanding your program and how it will change your life, how it will link to your future aspirations and is consistent with your interest areas, you should also show that you're aware of the basic requirements of studying in Australia. So there are certain aspects of a student visa that you should be cognizant of, you should understand. When you come to Australia, you can only work a maximum of 20 hours per week. And that is part-time study that is available to you to help support you whilst you're studying in Australia. Again, the primary purpose to come to Australia to study with ATMC is to learn and to graduate from our programs and to obtain an educational qualification. So the work is there to support you whilst you're there, but a maximum of 20 hours per week. We expect you to be studying for 40 hours per week. You are a full-time student, and that's a requirement of your visa. You should understand that. One attractive option of studying in Australia is if you study for 2 years, more than 2 years, under an Australian student visa, you are able to avail yourself of post-study work rights. That is something you should show that you're knowledgeable about, and it is one of the reasons why someone might choose to study in Australia as opposed to other international destinations. Post-study work rights guarantee all graduates the opportunity to remain in the country and to gain relevant and valuable work experience that you can put together with your study, and hopefully that will make you a much more attractive prospective employee for particular companies in the future. So it will enhance your job prospects. It's an important and exciting part of the education package in Australia, and you should demonstrate that you understand that that is part of the Australian educational experience. Finally, if you do get interviewed by the Department of Immigration and you get asked about these things, it's critically important that after you've listened to me and you've done your research and you've thought about the things I've asked you to think about, that you're able to give answers in your own way, in your own words. Do not feel nervous or feel you have to provide scripted responses. What the Australian government is looking for is your story, and that your story makes sense and it is something that comes from you. So show that you've thought about the things that I've discussed in this video. Show your own story to the Australian government. Show that you're making an informed choice and you understand what the options are at the end of your graduation, and I'm sure you'll have a positive outcome and a very happy experience studying here with ATMC.